Welcome back, everyone. This is a bonus video. I know I usually don't do back-to-back day-to-day videos, daily uploads like this. If you are appreciating the work I am putting into these videos and you do appreciate the short period of daily uploads here, be sure that you do smash that like button. It will just increase that YouTube algorithm and help me out greatly, so be sure that you do click that for me, smash the like button. So as I mentioned in the last episode of the Turning $100 to $1 Million series, I did actually finally get approved for Robinhood fractional shares and DRIP. And I mentioned this in a long time ago in a video I did back in 2019. I'll link that down below when I talked about DRIP and fractional shares when Robinhood originally announced it. But we're going to be looking at it again in today's video because I did finally get off the wait list for it and I can now activate it and do it. But first, I want to get a textbook definition here of what Robinhood is specifically talking about when they do say fractional shares and DRIP, which is Dividend Reinvestment Program, which allows you to have your dividends from your stocks that you own or securities automatically reinvested. So let's go to Robinhood here. We're going to look at what Robinhood says specifically and what they mean. So according to Robinhood, their fractional shares are pieces or fractions of whole shares of a company or ETF. And since Robinhood Fractional offers fractional shares, you can trade stocks and ETFs in pieces of shares in addition to trading in whole share increments as usual. Fractional shares on Robinhood can be as small as, there's no commas there, but that is 1/1,000,000th of a share. And trading fractional shares is real-time and commission-free. So a question I had before, when will I get fractional shares? Fractional shares will be rolling out to all customers in the next few months. You can sign up for early access in the Robinhood app or website. Why do you offer fractional shares? Our mission is to democratize financial services, and our fractional shares feature provides unique investing opportunities to people who might not otherwise be able to participate in the stock market. So in layman's terms, that basically means that people that cannot afford an entire share of what Apple is now over $300 a share, you can invest to fractions of the share and still be able to be invested in Apple and build up your portfolio over time without having to buy an entire whole share of that company or firm or whatever it is that you're investing. So with fractional shares, you can invest in stocks and ETFs that cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars. One that comes to mind is Berkshire Hathaway, or like Amazon stock, for example, that reached an all-time high. I don't actually own any Amazon stock. However, I do invest in mutual funds that do hold Amazon stock. So indirectly, I am invested in Amazon. You buy a single share with as little as $1. You don't have to buy a whole share for hundreds of dollars, guys. This is big news, and this is a free trading platform. This gives you the flexibility to invest as much as you want in the companies or ETFs you believe in, or get your toes wet without committing to an entire share. So if you're just testing the waters on something, you can do that too. Fractional shares can also help investors manage risk more conveniently. Since you're not locked into purchasing full shares, you can diversify your portfolio with smaller amounts of money. I didn't even think of that. That is a very good point. It's a great way to have diversification without having to buy entire shares. So the gifts just keep on giving. It's something that is never ending. How do you trade fractional shares? You can place real-time fractional share orders in dollar amounts or share amounts. All purchases will be rounded to the nearest penny. So if you want to do, say, 0.01 of a share, or you can do 1 cent of a share, you can do either or. Currently, fractional share trading is available for good for day or GFD market orders. Also, extended hours aren't supported for fractional share orders. So you can't actually buy fractional shares if you're not buying within the market bell rings of 9:30 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, what stocks can you invest in? Well, supported stocks are worth over $1 per share with a market capitalization of over $25 million. So you can't actually do those micro penny stocks that have very small micro caps. You're going to have to do those $25 million market caps or above. Those are the ones that are eligible for fractional share orders. If a stock isn't supported, we'll let you know when you're placing an order. So the order won't go through, or it won't actually execute by any means if you are trying to buy that stock. As far as shareholder rights, you'll be able to vote as normal. You can aggregate and report votes on fractional shares. You could, with dividends, they'll be paid to eligible shareholders who own fractions of a stock, so you'll still be eligible to receive dividends even if you do not own whole shares of a stock. Dividend payments will be split based on the fraction of the stock owned, so it will be calculated based on what you own, and it will be rounded to the nearest penny, so that is good. You might make another half a cent here and there. Please note that fractional share dividends may be paid at the end of trading day on the designated payment date. Now, as far as transfers, you will not be able to transfer fractional shares. If you initiate a full asset transfer out of Robinhood, your fractional shares will be sold and you'll receive the resulting cash back. If you initiate a partial asset transfer, any fractional shares you own will remain in your Robinhood securities account as fractional shares. When it comes to stock splits, if a stock experiences a forward stock split or a reverse stock split, you'll receive the relevant amount of fractional shares. For example, if you own 2.5 shares of Meow, not too familiar with that company, but I guess perhaps cat supplies, LOL. MEOW, Meow, valued at $10 per share, and Meow experiences a 2-for-1 forward stock split. You'll now own 5 shares valued at $5 per share. And a little note, you will receive the equivalent of any fractional share amounts resulting from a stock split in lieu of shares. For example, if a stock split results in 2.1 shares worth $10 per share, you'll receive 2 shares and $1, the cash equivalent of 0.1 shares. So you do get a lot of freedom with this. You're allowed to do almost anything. You can buy virtually any stock. You can receive dividends on virtually any stock that does, of course, pay dividends. So it is a great way to get into the game of investing, even if you have almost no money to your name. This is also a great way to build that compound interest, and we'll get into that even more so when we do get into Robinhood's DRIP new feature. Here's DRIP, or Dividend Reinvestment, according to Robinhood. You can automatically reinvest cash dividend payments back into the underlying stock or ETF with dividend reinvestment, or the DRIP program. And I actually did a video showing you how you can make a nice stable income using dividend reinvestment, and I did a video on that again. That was a long time ago. Only the OG fans will remember, back in 2019, but I'll also have that video linked down below in the description. How do I get started? You can enable dividend reinvestment by going to your account, which is the personal icon, then investing, dividend reinvestment, then toggle the switch on and complete the onboarding process if prompted. And a little note, fractional shares are required to use dividend reinvestment. If you don't have fractional shares, you'll be prompted to enable this feature when you enroll in DRIP or dividend reinvestment. So you can't do one without the other. They're not mutually exclusive. They have to be both toggled on together. Once you enable dividend reinvestment, you'll be able to see a list of investments you own or have previously owned with a pending dividend that are eligible for dividend reinvestment. So any pending dividends that you may have, you can immediately have them automatically reinvested with this new feature. These investments will reinvest dividends by default, but you can choose which of these investments you'd like to reinvest cash dividends for by tapping the circle or check mark. So any investments that you own will automatically have those dividends reinvested, but let's say that you want XYZ stock to be automatically reinvested, but then you want WXQ to have that money go to your bank account or credited to your account as cash. You can do that as well. So you don't necessarily have to have all of these stocks automatically reinvested. And we'll note your dividends will be reinvested on the trading day after the dividend pay date. You'll receive a notification letting you know when your dividends are reinvested. So you're just gonna have to wait a little bit, let that process. Now, which investments are eligible for dividend reinvestment? Any dividend paying stock or ETF that supports fractional shares is eligible for dividend reinvestment. So if you could buy a fraction of a share of it, you can have those dividends automatically reinvested. There's no caveats. How do I see my pending and past dividend reinvestments? Well, to see all of your pending and past dividends and dividend reinvestments, you can tap Account and then tap Statements and History. And that's normally where you would see your pending dividend history, whether or not you had fractional shares, so it's the same area. Now you'll see a list of all of your history in Robinhood, including your dividend reinvestments, to see your pending and past dividends and dividend reinvestments for individual stock. Go to the individual stock detail page and you'll see pending dividends and pending dividend reinvestments under upcoming activity and past dividend payments and reinvestments under your history. Why was my dividend not reinvested? Your dividend may have not been reinvested for a variety of reasons. Here are some common cases. The equity is ineligible for dividend reinvestment, and that's probably the most common one. The dividend was voided or reversed. Don't know what would happen there that would cause that, but I guess it's possible. The market is closed. In this case, the dividend should be reinvested on the next trading day. That's normal. Don't worry about that. Don't panic. This is a fantastic feature. A great job on Robinhood. Give them a big round of applause. They are doing fantastic, bringing investing to the hands of millennials and young people, Generation Z alike. It's no longer an elitist thing that only the people at the top can do. It is something people of all walks of life, all backgrounds, and any income brackets can invest and can even build passive income. This is a great job on Robinhood's part. So right now the market is closed, but I'm just going to be showing you in my Robinhood account kind of how we can get started here on DRIP. I haven't enacted anything. I haven't begun with this process. And I do have to tell you guys, I'm not actually probably going to be having all of my stocks do DRIP. Now, I know that sounds crazy. It sounds counterintuitive. The reason for that is just because it's all going to end up being the same and equal. Essentially, I'm going to have that cash credited so that way I can buy the most expensive stocks first at the beginning of every month, like I do in my normal investment plan. It'll just make it a lot easier for me, but it essentially gets the same effect where I can just automatically have those dividends reinvested. Basically, I just want to be able to buy those whole shares without a problem instead of having those fractions, just because I do a certain number, a fixture every single month. So that's why I'm not going to be doing it necessarily, but I am going to show you what the process looks like here. So this was the initial announcement I got, and this is also in conjunction with the fractional share, so it's essentially all the same announcement. On my phone screen, it is the same thing, but over here it says Dividend Reinvestment DRIP is now available. Grow your investments over time by automatically reinvesting your cash dividends back into the underlying stock or fund or an asset. And so this is the initial announcement that I got that I am now eligible for this. So we're going to do it right here. I haven't done anything yet. I didn't even click get started. So let's do it right here live, guys. We're going to be getting started with Robinhood's DRIP. So get started. Introducing dividend reinvestment. We already went through all of it. You don't necessarily have to read this, but just so you do know, you can pause it at any time. That is a good thing, that you can pause your dividend reinvestments for any individual stock at any time. So it's not something that you have to be permanently into. It's not a contract that you sign your life away to. And they're automatic, and they will be enabled when you begin this once we continue. So continue. Here's a little fine print. Accept. So on my phone here, you can get a better visual of the dividend reinvestment program option. So you could just toggle the option to be off, so that way none of your securities are invested in DRIP, or you can actually individually select certain securities that you want to be invested or certain ones that you don't. So in this case, I'm actually just going to be turning all of them off just because of my strategy of just having that cash sitting in there, and I'm going to be able to buy whole shares, as it just makes it easier for the calculations in my investment program. So I'm just going to turn everything off here. But of course, if you are starting with a small amount of money, you're going to want to have all that on. And of course, if you do want DRIP and have those dividends automatically reinvested, you also want to have that setting on as well. But on the phone here, it's a great visual of, you can see exactly which stocks you can have in it and out. So now that it is enabled on my Robinhood account, let me actually show you what it looks like. So let's say we go to Texas Instruments, for example, 42 shares of that company right here in this specific portfolio. And by the way, if you do want to see my entire portfolio, that video is on the homepage of my channel, and I'll also link that down below in the description. But I show you my entire stock portfolio, A to Z, the entire thing. Nobody really does that on YouTube, something that a lot of people are very secretive about and clandestine, but I'm very open and transparent on this channel, and so you can see everything I own, nothing hidden in that video. But Texas Instruments here, share price is now $108.24, a little bit down on the closing day on Friday, this past Friday. So if you look over here, it's a little bit different now. It always used to be that you have to put in a certain amount of quantity of shares, but now it's different. You can actually do it by amount. So instead of having to say 1 share, 2 shares, you can do a specific set amount of how much you want to invest in Texas Instruments. So for example, let's say you are only playing with $1, and I do have some cash in my account here, so technically I can do it, but the market's closed right now. If you want to do $1, that will equate to be 0.009238 quantity of that stock. So that's how many shares you're going to be getting. Of course, it's not multiple shares, it's only a fraction of a share. But that's exactly what it looks like. Now, if we go to do DRIP, we want to do dividend reinvestment, I actually have a pending dividend here that's going to be coming on May 18th. That should be here very, very soon. I should even receive it by the time you're seeing this video. But it's $36.90 for a dividend from Texas Instruments, or ticker symbol TXN. And that's pending right now. But let's say I want to initiate dividend reinvestment. I can do that. All I have to do is click that dividend here, and you can edit the dividend reinvestment settings. There's a little question mark there. So you can grow your holdings over time. Yeah, we've seen that message before. And that is when the dividend is expected to come. It's pending May 17th, expected to be in there May 18th. And I could edit those preferences. So if we click that, so it seems like the default setting is that all of your stocks will in fact, de facto, be eligible for DRIP, and that's the default setting. So you're going to have to play with those preferences, edit which stocks you want to do and which stocks you don't. So all of that can be done in a Robinhood account. But Robinhood does now allow you to do fractional shares. So that's essentially it for the Robinhood fractional shares and DRIP features. I am now able to do that. And so if you want to have DRIP enabled and not have to pay the hefty fees that would come with expensive brokers that you would in fact have to pay for if you wanted to get DRIP. E-Trade though does now allow free commission trading. So if you want to do E-Trade, that's fine. E-Trade, more renowned brokerage account. But if you do want to do Robinhood, and Robinhood does allow fractional shares, E-Trade does not allow you to do that. They can only allow you to do DRIP. Robinhood fractional shares. If you want to do that and get signed up for Robinhood, be sure you do use my link down below in the description. You get a free stock, I get a free stock. It's a win-win scenario, and it's a great way to get started investing if you have not already. Robinhood is proving time and time again that they're changing the game, so if you do want to have that feature, be sure you do use my link down below and sign up, get that free stock. Should be valued at least under 10 bucks or so if you're lucky. Not bad for doing nothing and just opening up an account, but it's free money, so why not do it? My link will be down below. But I do hope you enjoyed that in-between video. I normally don't do daily uploads like this yet. It's coming, guys, don't worry. Daily uploads will be coming in the future. Hopefully when I am monetized soon, we will get there. I know it's going to happen. We are growing day by day, week by week, month by month, exponentially that is. We're creating a massive community of people here that do want to get into the knowledge of investing in business and finance, people that are going against the grain. So I do appreciate the ongoing support. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers. Almost at 2,000, guys. We're going to be growing every single week. We are growing. So I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, smash that like button, and if you'd like to see more videos from my channel, be sure you are subscribed. I post videos every single week covering business, finance, entrepreneurship, mindset, strategy, and tips and tricks from my own experience. Be sure you are subscribed, and if you'd like to be notified every single time I make a new video, so you're first line to see it before anyone else, be sure you do have that notification bell clicked as well. Do have that clicked. It will allow you to get first access before anyone else. And see you in the next video.